Brendan Arthur is back, ready to stake a claim for a shot at world glory when he takes on Argentina's Walter Gabriel Shechiera. Part of a huge night of action on Saturday, September the 17th. It's live and free on Channel 5.
This is Joe Pugh for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Delighted to be joined by Michael McKinson. First of all, how are you?
Good, mate. This is our first Zoom, isn't it?
Yeah, it's our first one on Zoom, Michael. And so let's get straight into it then.
Let's make it a good one. Let's make it a memorable one. Who do you want me to call out?
We'll get to it.
Go on.
So let's get to you. Start off with then. I think kind of just over a month's passed since the Ortiz loss. It weren't your light that night, but I'm sure you took a tremendous amount of experience away from the whole experience.
Yeah, I think I was 10-1 underdog at the end, 9-1 on the day. I think I exceeded most people's expectations. I went in there very well prepared, very mentally strong. I guess I needed to, and I really did believe I could pull it off. But Virgil Ortiz, there's a lot of hype around him for a reason. I took him further than anybody else has. There's a lot of positives to take from it. I left Texas in a much better position, much more well respected, like stuff like that, in a much better position than what I went to Texas in. So, there's plenty of big fights out there. The last couple of weeks I've had to heal my bones, heal a few little injuries and that. Like I hurt my hip bone in the fight, as you can see from me limping out of the ring and stuff. But I feel good now. My brother's fighting for the English super lightweight title in a couple of weeks, so I've been drafted in to be a sparring partner, be a punch bag for Lucas. He's very good. He's on fire at the minute. Practicing my orthodox sparring as well. He's obviously quite unorthodox. So yeah, things are good. Things are good. I don't know the next route yet, but I think I've opened up a lot of doors and a lot of opportunities from that Ortiz fight. If I have to rebuild and come back with a win, then so be it. But I've proved that I belong at the world level. So they're the fights I'm looking at. I want big fights, like world level fights. Like I feel like I'm too good for domestic level. But we'll see. We'll see how it pans out.
You've now fought in the US twice. Your stock's gone up immensely over there. You're a name over there now. You've kind of been building over the past kind of 2 years since that fight against Congo in Gibraltar, where your name was really established as a major domestic level welterweight. And then the Ortiz fight kind of proved that you are capable of moving beyond that now. So you may have to come back with a win in your next fight, but kind of 6 to 8 months time from now, what sort of names you're going to throw at me?
Listen, mate, 18 months ago was Chris Congo fight. I was relatively unknown. I was a small hall fighter up to the Chris Congo fight. And look, you fast forward 18 months, I've headlined a Golden Boy show in America. I've become the first person from my town, from my city ever to fight in the States. I've built up quite a big following in the States as well. I'm really well respected over there. So, that means possibilities can happen in the States in the future. I'd love to fight closer to home. My supporters haven't been able to come out and watch me in force since 2019, before the pandemic, before all that. So it would be good to have kind of a homecoming. Even London's close. Do you know what I mean? So we'll just see. I think in our team at the minute, the focus is on my brother. He's only got 16 days left for his fight. Once that's out of the way and he's brought another belt back to the family and to the city, then we can kind of plan where I go next. I'd love to be out in December. Don't know how it works. Like, this is my first defeat. So for me, I would love to stay and fight these big guys, but I'm not sure if I have to have a win to be able to fight for a title again. I don't know how it all works. I listen to my team. I'm the I work hard and things like that, but it's all down to my team at the end of the day. I've proven I fear nobody. I've gone out there and fought one of the most feared 147 fighters in the world. So, and I've always had to do that. I've always done things the hard way, taken big fights, gambles. So I'll never duck anyone. You know, I was avoided before Ortiz. I don't know if I'll still be avoided after now I've got a loss, but the big fights are there. And the bigger the name, the happier I'll be, the better for me. So, so yeah, I deserve an easy fight, but will I ever get one? I've never really had it my way ever.
What sort of conversations have you had with your team in moving forward? Is there any particular routes you want to go down and pursue?
To be honest, mate, the only conversation was when we were still out in Texas, and it was on everybody's lips. I've proven I'm well. Although I lost, I've proven that I belong at world level. Then for me, obviously, I've just been on a holiday. I've been resting my bones, like a couple of little injuries to get over. And I feel like I'm over them now. Back in the gym last week, as soon as I got back from holiday. So now, like, the conversations will start to happen now, like, what's next? And that's all down on my team. I'd like to be out in December, but only if it's worth it. You know, I know my worth now. I know my worth. And there was a long time that I was fighting for nothing. I was fighting for just to get a win and stuff like that, like tough. For many years, I had tough opponents, but for hardly anything. Now I'm worth something, so be it. If I have to have a comeback fight and get a win, so be it. But who knows? I'm here for the big fights. I'm 28 now. I've just fought Virgil Ortiz, so like all I want is big names.
So you're 28. You can kind of afford to take your time now in kind of picking these fights. You've had the hard fights coming up, and is it now time for you? Because we're in probably the last few years of your career. You've had your bringing up process. Now it's about the big names, big fights, and ultimately the paydays.
Yeah, that's a good point, but I'm not used to having it on my terms and doing what I want. I've never had the luxuries of being like, right, I'll have this type of fight next. I'll have this type of fight. Let me build my career. I've never had that. I've had to do it the hard way. So you know, I'm an easy person to negotiate with. You know, I'm here for the big fights, but ultimately it's all down to my team. And getting and finding the right route for me, like, you know, comeback trials on, I guess. But we'll see. Hopefully before the end of the year, and hopefully soon we'll have some news. Now, I'm happiest when I have news. You know, I'm not relevant until in this boxing game. No one's relevant unless there's some news. You know, so you get all this like attention. You have a fight, then there's nothing. Now, I've only done probably 2. I think it's my second or third Zoom since Texas.
Yeah, and you say news, there's certainly a lot of news in boxing at the minute. We'll move on to one of the major talking points, and that is Chris Eubank Sr.'s comments over the past couple of days about pulling out Junior for the big Conor Benn fight. I know Conor Benn is a name that you've called out in the past. You've been vocal that you want that fight. But I know the relationship that you've got with your father. What would you make if your dad was saying, look, we've got to pull you out?
From a fight, I'd listen to my dad, but you know, my dad's my trainer. He's not his trainer. You know, my dad, okay, he hasn't managed me for a couple of years, but he's kind of like my advisor. You know what I mean? So like when I get a fight, I'll run everything through him regardless, and he's my trainer, so he's the one that sees me day in day out in the gym. But I've seen, like, I don't know if it's like you've seen all these videos of Eubank eating KFC, and I think it's just all mind games and stuff. Because I see something earlier that it's got nothing to do with seeing what happens, and the fight's still on. So who knows? Who knows? But everybody's engaged in it. Everyone's intrigued, and hopefully it happens. I believe it will still happen. So yeah, it's exciting.
What do you make of the fight in general then? Because obviously Connor's 147, you're 147. That would be kind of the two best British names at the minute.
Yeah.
And now he's moving up to a catch weight against someone who's fought of 160 and beyond in the past. I know the name makes it a massive fight. Sold out the O2 in under a day. But what do you make of the fight?
No, I see it as a fan rather than being a boxer and competition and stuff. That's how I've got to look at this. Because do I think I'll get the Ben fight in the future? It ain't. I would never count on it. I've called for a long time, and he's obviously doing what's right for him. So as a fan, it's exciting. Like the two names, the whole of the UK is interested in this, including me. I know you're probably going to ask me, how do I see it going? I sit on the fence far too much, but I think with the catch weight and the rehydration clause or whatever is in it, I would give Ben more than a chance in this. He looks like he's working very hard from social media. And I haven't really seen too much, but I've seen like pictures of him sparring a lot and sparring bigger guys like a lot. So and all I've seen from Eubank social media is him eating KFC and him posing next to flashy cars and stuff. I know it's all to play mental games with him and all stuff like that, but I wouldn't count Ben out of this fight, because that £3 is a lot. Eubank always looks so shredded and so trim on the scales. £3 is a lot for a man that's as athletic as him and stuff. So who do I think will win? I don't know. You'd still make Eubank the favourite for sheer size, but I do give Ben more than a chance in this.
Do you think Eubank is underestimating Ben, or do you think it is just purely mind games?
I think when you're a professional boxer and the stakes are this high on a fight, I'd think you'd be a fool, and I don't think he would underestimate Ben. I know in the talk it sounds like he's underestimating him, but Eubank's a professional. I believe he's working very, very hard behind the scenes where nobody knows. You know, I don't think he's eating KFC every day. I don't think he's, what's the newest one? Like a cake or fondue or something I see.
Yeah, some donut or something like that.
Yeah, but I don't believe he's eating like that, and I don't believe he's underestimating Ben. He's far too professional, especially at that level. I doubt it. But it keeps everybody interested. It keeps everyone asking questions and stuff. So, yeah, it's all good. It's all fun. Myself, as well as hundreds of thousands of other people, are well excited to watch it. So, I'm not going to give who I think will win, but I do give Ben more than a chance in it.
Excellent. And another fight that people are kind of clamoring for at the minute is Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. It's kind of come from left field. And as a boxing fan yourself and someone who's involved in British boxing as a whole, you know what it's like with negotiations. You said you're easy to negotiate with. These heavyweights can sometimes be very hard to get a fight over the line. Do you think this fight will happen in December?
It's as close to happening as it's ever been, isn't it? So I guess we find out within the next week what happens. It's like, although Josh was just lost, it's still a massive fight for the UK. And I think if it's ever going to happen, it's going to happen now, isn't it? So let's keep our fingers crossed. It happens and look forward to it, I guess. Like, I don't understand. Like, I heard, like, after Joshua lost last time, it's somebody came out and said he's had stadium fight after stadium fight and big fight after big fight. He needs to rebuild and stuff like this. Guessing he's going straight back into a big fight, but money talks, I guess.
And another big fight coming up this weekend. I want to get your thoughts on it. It's Canelo Triple G3, the trilogy fight.
Do you know what, Joe?
Well,
do you know what, Joe? couple of days ago, I got back from Vegas. First time ever in Vegas, right? I booked it before Golovkin and Canelo scheduled this fight. I'm gutted. I was there the week before. I always said, if I go to Vegas, I've never been. If I go to Vegas, it'd be if I fight there. Then I thought, you know what? Okay, if I don't fight there, I just want to be at a big fight there. And I didn't get any of that. Instead of going to see Canelo in Triple G, I went to see Shania Twain perform, you know? So yeah, but I think now it's like Golovkin's over 40. I don't think he looked great last time out against the Japanese guy. He was, until we stopped him, I thought he was struggling a little bit, and I think it's perfect for now. I think Canelo beats him easy. Wide on points. I know the first two fights were very controversial on points, very close. However way you see them, I think this will be very, very wide on points for Canelo. I know he's coming off a loss, but Golovkin is 4 years older than what he was last time. You know, he's waited. I think he's waited for a reason. But yeah, I believe Canelo beats him quite easy this time.
This one's at super middleweight, another weight division up, and it's for the undisputed titles. I think not much has actually been made of that because it's such a grudge match. It's such the trilogy fight that everyone's been wanting to see for the 4 years in between the second and third fight. Do you think that the weight could play a difference in this fight?
Obviously, Canelo's performed at 175 before, and he's and stuff like that. But you've got to think he was a lot smaller. Like, he's come through the weights, and I don't think size will play a part, but I believe age will. I think age will. And I think Canelo will show every single second of Golovkin's age in that fight, and yeah, there's only one winner for me.
And just finally, to finish up on that, do you think that potentially Canelo could get the stoppage? We know Triple G's never even really been rocked, really. He's got that mega chin. He's not the quickest of fighters, but he has that work down pace. So is there a danger that he could get stopped?
Possibly. You know, age waits for no man. It all depends on what Golovkin's got left. You know, he got caught with a lot against the Japanese last time, and he was, although he didn't show any signs of weakness, he didn't perform great. And Canelo's a different level to that guy. So Canelo could find a stoppage. I don't think he will, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Excellent, Mikey. Thank you very much for hopping on today. It was our first one, hopefully first one of many on Zoom, and hopefully we'll get some fight news very soon for yourself.
Yeah, mate. As soon as I know something, I'll message you, and we'll get another one.
100%. Thank you very much for speaking to IFL, and speak to you again as soon as you get that news, mate.
Nice one, Joe. See you later, mate.
Great. Lovely.
Yeah, I put my dad in the street against a heavyweight.
I've gone back to the dad. I've punched him a few more times.
5 blokes outside my front door. You coming in?
One hell of a fucking story, so stay tuned.